Welcome to the Comic Storian channel, where we take some of your favorite comic books, video games, and movies, and we break down the storylines within into an audio drama. We allow you to keep up with your favorite pop culture universe while getting on with your busy life. Recently, we've been covering the story of the Justice League, and to catch you up quickly, the Justice League accidentally broke the Source Wall, which freed the evil villain Perpetua, whose goal is to wipe out the entire multiverse using the totality so that she can remake it in the idea of evil. Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom are currently working to awaken Perpetua, but to prevent this from happening, the Justice League had a master plan: to enter the 6th dimension and go there and figure out how to save the day. When they entered the 6th dimension, they discovered a future where they had won. But sadly, they discovered that the only way that they had won was to preemptively stop everybody who would become a problem. To preemptively stop anybody who would side with the villains in the Great War. Not being willing to accept this as their fate, and demanding that they find another way, they decided to battle against the World Forger, who had showed them this future. But he told them that there was no other option, and immediately locked them all up. But he also took Batman and told him that he will be the decider. He can convince the rest of the League to side with him in his battle against evil. And to prove to the World Forger that Batman was on his side, he gave him a button that would ultimately kill Superman. It would take away the sun that gives Superman his power in his own dimension, causing him to die. And that was when we last left off. Batman was placing his hands on the controls, telling him, "I'm sorry, Clark. There's so much I wanted to tell you right now, but there's no time for anything except goodbye." As Superman flies towards the only light that he can see, the one giving him his powers, the one that will be his escape from his prison, it vanishes, leaving him alone in the dark. Back with the others who were captured, escaped prison, and then teamed up with the Legion of Doom in the future to find a way out of the situation. Lois's guards begin to chase the escaping shuttle, with Darkseid shouting, "They're gaining on us. Grodd, use the laser cannon." Grodd jumps into the gunner seat, telling him, "Come to Papa." Flash asks, "Isn't this the part where we're supposed to start punching each other?" And Sinestro tells him, "There's no time for that, I'm afraid. No time for anything but this. Darkseid, how far to the portal?" Darkseid calls back that they have 2 to 3 minutes. That is, if Grodd is still a good shot. Grodd laughs, telling them, "I might not be able to read your mind anymore, but I can still tell when you're screwing with me." Sinestro then goes on stating, "All that matters is that we get you back to Earth to stop the World Forger. Listen, all my life I thought of myself as an anthropologist, a student of the intellectual life's many paths. But Luthor, he becomes worse than any of us become. All under Batman's hand. I'm sorry. We are sorry." Grodd gets up from his seat stating, "All clear!" And just then Lois appears on the monitors asking, "Do you all remember Superman's journey to Earth? How his rocket kept him in stasis for all those years? It made us wonder, what if we could do that with more difficult prisoners? What if we made our own versions of it and we called them Krypton Cradles?" Just then, the entire ship shakes as the guards begin to get within firing range and they shoot into their shuttle. Meanwhile, back with Batman, the World Forger tells him, "I know there are conflicting feelings about joining me, but the hammer is almost lit. Soon it will be time to strike the anvil and bring about the crisis." The World Forger guides Batman towards a room and he asks, "What is this?" And the World Forger tells him, "It is the greatest seat of power in existence." Batman asks, "Your throne room?" And the World Forger tells him, "No, it is yours." Batman reaches down to the panel and it reacts to his touch, opening the doors before him. Once Batman can see inside, he simply says, "My God." The World Forger tells him, "Look upon your work. The Sunbox, a chair built from Element X, allows you to see into people's hearts. But you took it a step further. You built the final Batsuit around the chair, not just to determine people's minds, but to change them and rewrite them cell by cell. This was the only way, wasn't it?" And the World Forger tells him, "Yes, you are the greatest knight of the universe. Not dark, but bright. The sun. The true sun." Just then an explosion shakes the room, and the World Forger shouts, "No, your friends couldn't have!" But back on the shuttle, Darkseid yells, "Our only hope is to shoot the Justice League out of the damned cannon towards the portal." Sinestro says that they're going to do this, but before that, they must know. Batman is the greatest enemy in this battle. His weapon is a suit that will rewrite your minds. Hawkgirl asks how do they, but Sinestro stops her, telling her, "We have a mole on Earth. He just gave his life to destroy the suit." Wonder Woman says that they will not go without them, and Cheetah tells her, You have to go, please! As everyone gets ready, Sinestro tells John to make sure that their light never grows dim. And Cheetah tells Wonder Woman to remain true. And Grodd, he tells Flash that he still hates him. Sinestro grabs the controls and whips the shuttle around, telling Lois, "Don't fire! We're returning." Lois then asks, "Where are the others?" And Grodd says, "Well, they're in the can. Don't ask, it's just that kind of league." But just then the cannon fires and Lois shouts, "Stop them before they reach the other side!" Olsen responds to her, telling her, "Something is coming right at us and it's picking up speed." Sinestro pushes the thrusters to max, stating, "Ah yes, that's the old feeling, isn't it? How could I forget the power of fear?" He flies the shuttle straight into the middle of Lois's cruiser, giving the League enough time to hit the portal and fall to the other end onto Earth. As they fall, "One of you flyers is gonna catch me, right?" As everyone lands, Hawkgirl gets up, stating that they need to find their future selves and beat the ever-living. But the World Forger tells them, "You won't have to look far. Did you really think that I wouldn't feel you coming? I wrote this reality." Everyone readies themselves for battle, but that's when there's another explosion, and Batman voice tells them, "You should have stayed on Apocalypse." Flash covers his eyes in the light, asking, "Is that Batman here to help us?" Batman stands up, piloting one of the largest bat suits ever created, stating, "I'm sorry, but it's time to imagine a different ending." The two leagues clash as they fight against their counterparts, but behind them, the World Forger's hammer glows bright as he holds it over his head. He tells Batman, "This is it. The Crisis Anvil is nearly formed. Mxyzptlk must have unraveled your Earth. It is time for you to use the power of the Sunbox suit to affect everyone's hearts." Batman tells him, "I just need one chance to convince them myself, the right way." The World Forger shouts, "No! Do not diminish yourself by clinging to who you once were. I am ordering you to accept their fates. You are the universe's savior." A power surges through the World Forger and Batman tells him, "Please, with all I'm going to give to the future, give me this one chance. I can convince them." The World Forger scoffs, "Bah, then try. But know this, if you fail, I will rip their minds apart myself, so make it count." Batman turns back, bursting through the League, telling them, "Stop and listen! Out of all of you, I do the most doubting. I'm the most skeptical. But here, in this place, I can see the way forward." Hawkgirl bashes Batman, giving Martian Manhunter the time to slam him into the ground. And Martian Manhunter tells him, "No, you have lost your way." Batman gets back up shouting, "You need to listen!" And Hawkgirl asks, "Why? So you can rip our minds from us? This isn't what we fought for. You are a traitor." Batman releases the restraints that contain Hawkgirl, telling her, "You are no match for the Sunbox suit. I built it with all of you in mind." Just then, Shane jumps up, attacking them, telling him, "Everyone except me!" Batman fires a blast at Shane and he yells, "Damn it, all of you! If you listen to anything I've ever said, let it be this. I've been a detective my whole life, and in this place, I found the answer on how we win. The only way forward. You need to look past everything and see it." But before he could go any further, the World Forger shouts, "Enough! The time has come! The Anvil is formed! Reshape their minds now, Batman!" And Batman screams, "See the light! You have to see the light now!" But elsewhere, a withering Superman sees something. He sees the light, warm and bright on his skin, almost like the sun. But not just one, several suns bathing the Man of Steel with power. At first he thinks that he's just imagining things, but the rays, they charge his cells and he knows. And he quietly says, "Bruce." With his strength returning tenfold, Superman shouts to the World Forger as he flies through the suns, one after another, gaining more strength each time. No, more power than he's ever felt before. He flies at a speed beyond physics, beyond imagination, his will, his anger. And Batman calls out, "That's it! See the way forward!" The World Forger can feel the vibrations, and just as he gets ready to strike his hammer down on the anvil to create the crisis, he sees it. He can feel it. He underestimated these beings. And when he looks up, he sees something coming at him, something shaped a lot like a fist. Superman crashes down with enough force to level a country, and it is all focused on the World Forger. The world trembles and it shakes at the impact, leaving behind a giant crater in its wake. Superman stands over the World Forger, telling him, "Look up at me." The World Forger coughs You destroyed my masterpiece. You've doomed us all. You truly are the greatest villain in existence. And Batman, how could you betray me like this? The feelings that I felt, you believed it. How did you trick me? Batman walks up telling him, I didn't. I do believe you're right. It is the only logical chance for us to win. I moved the suns into a fast orbit knowing that Clark would die, believing that maybe we'd have a better chance if he did. But I also knew that if Superman pushed through, the suns would be there for him. So I gave him a chance to prove me wrong. Because he's a friend and he makes me believe things that I can't on my own. However, going through all of the possibilities, there is one that you haven't looked for. And the World Forger looks to him. What is that? Batman tells him. The one where you fight with the Justice League. The World Forger slowly gets up stating, you leave me no other choice. As Superman extends his arm telling him, there really is only one way forward. Together. The World Forger scoffs stating, this is foolish. As Superman helps him up telling him, no, it's uncharted territory, which is exactly where we need to be. So let me be the first to officially welcome you to the Justice League. But back in Washington, D.C., a pillar of light forms as the World Forger opens a portal back to their dimension, and Wonder Woman looks around stating that the damage is worse than she could have imagined. Shane asks, is this what their reality has always looked like? Smoking and burning like that? And the World Forger tells them, no, this was my doing. I did it to spread terror. Just as everyone heads into the dimly lit Hall of Justice, he says, strange. I've never seen the halls so empty. But that's when Mara and Starman run up stating, thank God you're back! Hawkgirl tells them, yeah, we leave reality for a few hours and everyone gets nervous. Mara shouts, hours? You've been gone for a week. We fought Mxyzptlk. It's been a week since everything changed. Batman asks, what do you mean? And Mara tells them to come, she'll show them. They were first overwhelmed fighting Mxyzptlk. They were losing and the whole world could see it happening. Then Luthor showed up with the Legion of Doom and unleashed Batmite to fight Mxyzptlk to turn the tide. The Legion of Doom used their incredible powers and they won. Lex Luthor saved the world, but that's when he said this. They play a recording and Lex stands over Mxyzptlk's body. He tells the people, greetings, I am Lex Luthor. You know me by many faces, but as a member of the Justice League, I was one of your greatest heroes. I have, from time to time, been called a scourge against the world, but I am here today to show you my true face, to tell you what your heroes won't. The Justice League broke the protective source wall at the edge of their universe, and only a few short weeks ago, what remained of it broke away and all of existence is now threatened by an all-consuming void. Hundreds of worlds, filled with alien life and far beyond your understanding, have already been destroyed. Your universe and the multiverse that sits within is dying. Make no mistake, this is the Justice League's fault. In the face of a dying multiverse, your heroes will tell you to appeal to the better side of yourselves, to continue living good, virtuous lives. Part of you would think, yes, that is the best thing to do. That's what Superman would do. But another, deeper part of you will be screaming in abject horror. What do you do as the universe dies around you? Smile and hope for a better tomorrow? Or embrace the scream? Do you do what is best for you and your own? They call those who cling to the true emotions within themselves as villains. They called me a villain, a vain, selfish creature of ego. So be it. Let them say what they will. We have seen the hero's path and it will lead to ruin. The universe is dying. We must save ourselves at any cost. We must all be villains. Effective immediately, I am dissolving LexCorp. Every penny of my multi-billion-dollar fortune will be given away to the people who will show you the way to save yourselves. Soon you will see what I am willing to sacrifice for this cause, but ultimately, it will be on each and every one of you to choose your path forward, to choose justice or choose doom. The only way to save your world is to make this the year of the villain. You'll be hearing from me shortly. Mara then says that the broadcast was transmitted everywhere. Riots followed shortly after people lashed out in fear. Batman asks, that's not all, is it? And Mara tells him no. So Superman then asks, what was Lex going to sacrifice? And Mara says, himself. First, Lex went to the White House and he took down Amanda Waller, robbing her mind of the location of the most dangerous people on the planet. The government tried to step in, but Lex went to LexCorp Tower and destroyed it with himself inside. Superman then asks, who did he give his fortune away to? Do we know? And Mara says, no, but based on the information he stole from Waller, Batman finishes. It's going to the world's worst villains. We need our eyes on all of them immediately. The World Forger steps forward stating, this is an extraordinary, dangerous turn of events. This is what Perpetua needs to gain her power back. Our only hope is to find my brothers, the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor. They held her back once before. Starman shouts, no, I can feel what we need to do. We need to unlock the mystery of the power within me. I can feel it echoing through hypertime and the multiverse. Wonder Woman then says, no, we have to keep our eyes on Earth. We have so many incredible heroes that we can recruit. The Justice League needs to be bigger than ever before. Martian Manhunter tells everyone, we need to do all of it. All of it and more. There's a great war of justice and doom coming, and I fear it's about to get much, much worse. Meanwhile, over at the halls of the Legion of Doom, lightning strikes as Brainiac watches over his production of a drone. Just then, from one of the test chambers, a man breaks free and climbs out grabbing a robe. Brainiac says that it worked, and the hooded man says, of course it did. The body is unfinished, but the groundwork for my evolution is set. Are the drones ready? Brainiac tells him yes, but just say the word and they will make their way to their targets. The man steps out into the rain stating it's time for the villains of this world to see what I truly offer them. The heroes won't have a chance when they rise with doom in their hearts. Launch the drones. It's time for the Justice League to understand that their doom has just begun. Lightning strikes again, showing enough light to reveal the face of our hooded man. Lex Luthor evolved to the apex predator. And there you have it. The year of the villain has begun. Now, it started a little while ago in DC Comics. You'll see the moniker on top of many of your comic books explaining that it's an offer issue or a part of the year of the villain. If it's an offer, you'll see that some of your favorite superheroes and villains are getting offers from Lex Luthor to join his movement of doom. If you remember our video, the ending of Red Hood, where there was a drone from Lex Luthor to Red Hood, that was an offer. We're now going to keep doing the Justice League storyline and tell you where we're at with the Avengers storyline now that the War of the Realms is over. So make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to keep up to date on everything happening in Marvel and all the news happening with DC's Year of the Villain. Don't forget, you can follow me over at Twitter, at ComicStorian. We could talk about whatever you want, including the Year of the Villain. But what do you think of this? What do you think of the direction that the Justice League is doing? With the conclusion of this issue, the first 25 issues of the Justice League storyline is complete. And they failed. They don't have an answer. This is the first arc, and we are now moving into the second part of this story. So expect a full story coming up soon of the first 25 issues, because you got to catch up. There's a lot of stuff that just happened. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I thank you for your support through everything that we've done at this channel, and I hope you've enjoyed this story. I'll see you next time right here.